I loved Roblox. I loved it a lot, like a whole lot. I wasn't just any player, I was Dazai the Destroyer, master of pranks, king of chaos. I'd build elaborate traps, I'd lure players into dead ends, I'd even pretend to be their friend, then boom! Surprise lava pit. I lived for the laughs, the groans, the angry messages. It was all part of the game, or so I thought.
Dazai laughed maniacally at his computer screen with a Roblox game up, showing an elaborate trap he'd built. His avatar was surrounded by the usernames of confused players. One day, Dazai logged on, ready to wreak havoc. He rubbed his hands together, a mischievous glint in his eye. Time to cause some mayhem, but when he tried to join a game, error. Account suspended. Dazai blinked. He tried again. Same message. He was banned. Reason, toxic behavior.
The world stopped. Birds stopped singing. A single tear rolled down my cheek. I was exiled from my digital kingdom. It was a tragedy of Shakespearean proportions.
Dazai went into mourning. He locked himself in his room. Days passed. His friends pounded on the door, worried. Finally he emerged. He was different. Gone was the mischievous glint in his eye. In its place, angst. Pure, unadulterated angst. His hair was now a dramatic mess of black strands falling over his eyes. He wore a black hoodie, naturally, and his face, pale with a perpetual expression of world weariness. Dazai, the prankster, was no more. He was now Emo Dazai. His friends didn't know what hit them. They stared, open-mouthed, as Emo Dazai shuffled past, muttering about the futility of existence.
Dazai, you okay?
You wouldn't understand,
he mumbled, staring at his black-painted fingernails.
Try us. Did something happen?
They took it all away from me. My powers, my purpose, my Roblox account.
The others exchanged confused glances. This was serious. Roblox ban serious. Thus began Dazai's emo phase.
I took to wearing only black.
He wrote dark poetry in his notebook, mostly about the Roblox ban.
I even started listening to My Chemical Romance.
His diet consisted mostly of instant ramen, consumed dramatically in the dark.
My sleep schedule was non-existent.
He was a walking, talking cliché of teenage angst.
Or maybe dye your hair a different shade of darkness. You know, you could at least get some cool piercings.
One afternoon, Kyuka found Dazai staring forlornly at his reflection in a puddle.
You think so?
Dazai's head shot up, a flicker of hope in his eyes.
Just saying, if you're going to be emo, you might as well commit.
And commit he did. The agency decided to intervene. They couldn't have their top agent moping around in a perpetual state of Roblox-induced despair. They tried everything.
I baked him cookies.
Too sweet for my tortured soul.
Yosano tried to psychoanalyze him.
There.
He just stared at her with bored indifference. Rampo offered to solve the mystery of his ban.
It's beyond even my brilliant deductions.
Nothing worked. In fact, things got worse. Dazai's emo phase began to affect his work. He'd show up to crime scenes wearing ripped fishnets and eyeliner. He'd quote Edgar Allan Poe in the middle of interrogations. He even tried to convince a villain to join his emo band. They were still working on the name. The agency was in chaos. Their resident prodigy had turned into a melodramatic mess, and they had no idea how to fix it. One day, a letter arrived for Dazai. It was from Roblox. He ripped it open, his heart pounding. Could this be it? Was he unbanned? He scanned the letter. His shoulders slumped. It wasn't an unban, it was a survey.
Dear valued customer, we'd love to hear your feedback on your recent ban.
Dazai crumpled the letter, a single tear rolling down his cheek. His emo phase was far from over. The agency, meanwhile, held their breath. Would their Dazai ever return? Only time, and maybe a miracle from the Roblox gods, would tell.